Cybersecurity in Japan, France, and China. Hi, I'm Asna.
Hi, I'm Amirah.
Hi, I'm Nurin.
Now, let's go to Japan.
Japanese companies fall victim to unprecedented wave of cyber attacks. According to the diplomat, since the start of 2020, companies in Japan have faced an unprecedented spike in ransomware attacks. Over half of 200 Japanese companies reported ransomware cyber attacks, in which 33 companies paid an average sum of 123 million yen, approximately 4,596,000 ringgit Malaysia, to criminal networks. And the latest cyber attack faced by Japan was stated by Kyodo News in 27 May 2021. Japan government agencies hit by data breach via unauthorized access. The Land, which is Infrastructure and Transport Ministry, reportedly had at least 76,000 email addresses of its employees and business partners leaked. So, the latest cyber attacks in Japan is ransomware and data breach. Ransomware is a form of malware that encrypts a victim's file. The attacker then demands a ransom from victim to restore access to the data upon payment, while data breach is an incident where information is stolen or taken from a system without the knowledge or authorization of the system's owner. Now, let's take a look at cyber law in Japan. Two main cyber laws that criminalizing cyber attacks is UCAL and the Penal Code. UCAL stands for the Act on the Prohibition of Unauthorized Computer Access. UCAL imposes criminal sanctions on any person who makes an unauthorized access to a computer, the access to and operation of which are under the control of an administrator. And the Penal Code provides for criminal sanctions on the creation and provision of improper command records, such as computer virus. Improper command records mean electromagnetic records that give a computer improper command that causes the computer to be operated against the operator's intention. Now, let's see the penalties according to the UCAL. In the Article 11, it is punishable by imprisonment of up to 3 years or fine of up to 1 million Japanese yen for infection of IT systems with malware, the denial of service attack and hacking. Under UCAL Article 12, it is punishable by imprisonment of up to 1 year or fine of up to 500,000 Japanese yen for phishing and identity theft or identity fraud. Okay, now for the penalties, under the Penal Code, in the Article 234-2, business obstructed by hacking through improper command records is punishable by imprisonment of up to 5 years or fine of up to 500,000 Japanese yen. In the Article 246-2, for gains illegal benefit by identification code through phishing, punishable imprisonment of up to 10 years. While in the Article 160 Act-2, distribution, sale or offering for sale of software, hardware or other tools used to commit crime, subject to imprisonment of up to 3 years or fine of up to 500,000 Japanese yen.
Next, let's go to France. In France, the cybersecurity agency that authorized is the French National Agency for Security of Information System, called ANSSI. It was created in 7 July 2009. ANSSI is known as the National Cybersecurity Authority, which acting as the first responder in French cyberspace. It is responsible for preventing and reacting to IT incidents, affecting sensitive institutions, and organized crisis exercise on national level. There are many cybercrime cases that were reported every year. These are the statistics of France cybercrime cases in 2018. France has reported fraud as the most case happened in 2018, while public injury via internet, death threats, privacy breach, and blackmail reported the least cases in France. Fraud is the act of using computer to take or alter electronic data or to gain unlawful use of a computer or a system, while identity theft occurs when someone uses your personal identifying information and pretends to be you in order to commit fraud or to gain other financial benefits. Next, for France cybersecurity laws. There are 4 important laws in the cybersecurity domain, which are including the God-Friend Law, the FDPA, the Law for a Digital Republic, and the Network and Information System called NIS rules. For the penalties, let's start with phishing. If a person does phishing that results in infringement of intellectual property right, he can be punished 3 years of imprisonment and a fine up to 300,000 euro, while hacking can be punished for 5 years of imprisonment and a fine up to 150,000 euro. Next, if a person is caught doing identity theft, he can be imprisoned 1 year and a fine up to 15,000 euro, while doing denial of service, which is DDoS attack, may be punished with 7 years of imprisonment and a fine up to 300,000 euro. And last but not least, electronic theft can be punished into 3 years of imprisonment with fine up to 45,000 euro.
Now, let's go to China.
Cybersecurity Law of the People's Republic of China was commonly referred to the Chinese Cybersecurity Law, was enacted to increase data protection, data localization and cybersecurity in the interest of national security. This law was enacted by the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress on 7 November 2016 and was implemented on 1 June 2017. In general, the Cybersecurity Law emphasizes the data protection and China's conference cyberspace sovereignty. This statistic represents the internet security issues encountered by internet users in China as of December 2020. According to Atlas VPN, China is the top 5 of most DDoS attack countries on March 2020 with 45,000 attacks. A denial of service attack is a cyber attack in which the perpetrator seeks to make a machine or network resources unavailable to its intended users by temporarily or indefinitely disrupting services of a host connected to the internet. 3 major articles that related to cybercrimes in China. Article 2 Act 5 contains whoever violates state regulation and intrudes into computer system with information concerning state affairs, construction of defense facilities, and advanced science and technology is to be sentenced to not more than 3 years of fixed term imprisonment or criminal detention. For Article 286, whoever violates state's regulation and deletes, alters, adds, and interferes in computer information system, causing abnormal operation of the system and grave consequences, is to be sentenced to not more than 5 years of fixed term imprisonment or criminal detention. When the consequences are particularly serious, the sentence is to be not less than 5 years of fixed term imprisonment. And Article 287 stated that whoever uses a computer for financial fraud, theft, corruption, misappropriation of public funds, stealing state secrets or other crimes is to be convicted and punished according to relevant regulation of this law. For other related articles and penalties, Article 27 prohibits any person from endangering network security, such as illegally intruding into any other person's network, interfering with the normal functions of any other person's network, and stealing network data. Article 63 states any violation of the provision, if not regarded as committing a crime, will be subject to administrative penalties, including confiscation of illegal income, detention of no more than 5 days, and a fine between 50,000 to 500,000. If the circumstances are relatively serious, the violator shall be detained for 5 to 15 days and may be fined between 100,000 to 5 million. Furthermore, the person given a public security punishment due to his or her violation of Article 27 shall not hold a key position of cybersecurity management and network operation for 5 years, and a person given any criminal punishment shall be prohibited for life from holding a key position of cybersecurity management and network operation.
Next, for cybersecurity in Naqli and Aqli perspective. There is a verse in Al-Quran Al-Karim where Allah has stated in Surah An-Nur verse 27. The meaning for this verse is, O believers, do not enter any house other than your own until you have asked for permission and greeted its occupant. This is best for you, so perhaps you will be mindful. Based on this verse, Allah has stated the manners to visit other people's houses to prevent any consequences happen. This shows that Islam recognizes and respects privacy and personal rights. We should not interfere with other privacy without asking them first. Hackers or the identity theft should not interfere in taking other private information as it involves with other privacy and personal rights.
Loose or strict? Based on the comparison between these three countries, France is the most strict cyber law compared to China and Japan. This is because France specified its laws when involve public and governmental system, while China and Japan don't. However, these three countries have similar cyber law, with the imprisonment at maximum is 5 years and at minimum is 1 year for non-serious cybercrime.
Since Japan and China have general laws unlike France, our recommendation is for Japan and China to enact specific cybercrime law and penalties for crime that involves the government or public. Next, each country must strengthen investigation and law enforcement against the acts of cybercrime in order to effectively combat the cybercrime chain. Our last recommendation is for all countries to consider the effects of developing technologies such as dark web and cloud computing on cybercrime investigation and law enforcement, and collaborate to discover practical solutions.